everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm bringing you a very highly requested video and one that I've been wanting to film ever since I did my last one, and that is a Netflix recommendation. So I'm going to be sharing with you my list of my favourite horror thriller movies on Netflix at the moment, ones that you might not have seen. So I thought I'd share with you some that you might not have seen, some that are fairly new on Netflix, and some that I have watched recently. So without further ado, if you want to learn about some fun movies that you should definitely add to your list and to your movie night, then keep on watching. I have my laptop down here because I'm having a look at the actual descriptions of movies. So the first movie is called Level 16. This is one that I've had on my list for a really long time, so I'm not particularly sure of when it came out on Netflix. A sci-fi, dystopian kind of movie. So it's basically a group of girls who are at this school who are being educated to be like the perfect women for families, to be like adopted essentially. And basically it's just really shady, and two girls come together to basically work out what's going on. It's like underground, so they've never been outside before. I really liked it. I love the storyline. It's really like at the end, it really, like, you want to keep watching it, like you want to know what's going on. I wouldn't say it's a horror, I'd say it's more of a like a sci-fi dystopian thriller as opposed to a horror. I wouldn't say it's scary as such. So the second movie is called 47 Meters Down, Uncaged. I had seen this on my Netflix for ages, but for some reason assumed that it was just the same as 47 Meters Down, which was the first film, but just like a bonus version or something. But actually it's a completely different film. I haven't seen 47 Meters Down. It's basically where these girls go on this like shark boat trip kind of thing. So they go in this like cage and it lowers you into the ocean so you can see the sharks, and obviously the cage breaks and it's just chaos and they go right to the bottom of the ocean and they can't get out because they're sharks. This one is definitely a horror. It's scary, it's thrilling, it's fantastic. Really well made. This one is about these four teenage girls who go diving in this like ancient ruins. So there's no, like, to get out, you've got to get out from the ruins and up to the surface. You can't just go straight up. It's like you're in a cave essentially. They go diving in these ancient ruins and there's a fuck ton of sharks in there, and it is really thrilling. It really keeps you on your edge of your seat for the whole time. Scary, there's sharks involved, a lot of jump scares. Really good. If you like movies that are really like get your heart going, like fast paced, this one is fantastic. I would really recommend it. The third film is called Contagion. It's very topical at the moment. I feel like that's why they brought it out on Netflix recently and it's got a lot more popular. This is actually a 2011 film, so it's not new at all. Basically about a spread, like the rapid spread of a virus, and the government and doctors are trying to work out where it came from. Really interesting and really topical. It's a thriller. It's really like, feels really real because obviously we are all living through a pandemic at the moment, and it's really interesting to see how they work out how a virus starts. So they've got to trace it back to where it first came from, who exactly was it, who was he in contact with, etc. It's got some really good actors and actresses in it. It's got Matt Damon, Kate Winslet, Gwyneth Paltrow, amongst others. Really recommend this film. It feels really close to home at the moment. So yeah, I really liked that. So this next film is called The Perfection. Now this came out on Netflix in 2019 and I believe it's a Netflix original. Definitely like a psychological horror thriller. Really makes you think. It's basically about, let me get this right. I'm just gonna read out what's on IMDb because it's a psychological thriller. I don't want to ruin it. So I'm just gonna read out what it says so I don't ruin it for anybody. Musical prodigy Charlotte seeks out Elizabeth, the new star pupil of her former school. The encounter sends both musicians down a sinister path with shocking consequences. Don't know how much better to describe it. It's about this like music school, like a boarding specialist school for cellists essentially. And a girl called Charlotte, she was like the prodigy, she was like the best student. Something happened for whatever reason. I'm just really trying not to ruin it, this is really hard. Something happened and she wanted to reconnect with the new prodigy, essentially, and she just finds out the secrets behind this school and she wants to let the new prodigy know and aware of what's going on. A real like thinking film, like it takes a lot of thought because you've got to try and work out what's going on. Really good film, and it is really crazy. Like, it's really weird. Like, I love a psychological thriller, so if you like something that's really gonna make you think, I would really recommend that you watch that. So the next film is one that I've watched pretty recently. Literally, I'd say one of my favourite films that I've watched in quite a long time. It came out in 2018 and it's called Truth or Dare. It stars Lucy Hale, Tyler Posey, amongst other amazing actors. Basically, it's about a group of college friends who, whilst on a trip in Mexico, play a game of Truth or Dare. And quickly it becomes a very sinister game where if you don't play Do the Truth or the Dare, then you die, essentially. It's really crazy. It is a horror. Described as a supernatural horror film. It's done by Blumhouse. If you're a horror fanatic like me, Blumhouse do the best horror movies ever. It is so well made. Really liked it. So the next one is another movie that is fairly old. It came out in 2015 and I'm sure a lot of you may have already seen this. It only recently came out on Netflix and it is called No Escape. It is definitely a more action thriller type of movie, slight bit of horror. American family, they relocate to somewhere overseas and basically they get themselves caught in the middle of a coup, real political chaos where the locals are hunting down and killing all tourists. Obviously them being white Americans, they are in serious danger and basically they frantically look around this overseas place, I can't remember where it was, to try and escape this island, escape where they are, get into safety and not die and be shot. They've got 2 kids, it's a mum, a dad and 2 girls. It's really good. It's a real like thriller where the whole time you're like, oh my god, don't go there, fuck. Like, it's really intense. Honestly, again, one of the best like thriller, really exciting films I've watched in a really long time. So the next one is a really recent film and this was from 2020, so this year, and it is called A Fall from Grace. I'm sure many of you may have seen this, but I feel like a lot of you may not have bothered to watch it because it looks like it's maybe more of a documentary kind of thing. It is about a woman who married this new man. Basically, she gets arrested and accused of killing her husband. It's basically following her court case. Her marriage is full of secrets, lies, and just a bundle of mess, and it is just a really, I would describe it as a bit more of a, it's a bit more of a slow burning thriller, but it's definitely a psychological one because at the end you're like, what? Okay, so the next film is called Cam and it is a 2018 psychological horror. It is a really weird film and definitely not for the younger people, I would say. It's basically about this really ambitious cam girl. So she wants to be the best cam girl. So she's like a online stripper kind of thing. She gets money for being really sexy online. And basically one day she wakes up to realise that she's been replaced on her show with an exact replica of herself. And she's obviously got to try and work out who this person is and why it's happened and how it's happened and how is this person being her. Really good, really makes you think, a psychological thriller. As you can tell, I really like these psychological horror thrillers. I feel like they have a lot more substance to them. The final film I'm going to share with you is called Before I Wake. I believe it came out on Netflix in 2018. Basically, it's about this little boy who is adopted by this family and all of his dreams and nightmares come in real life. You can probably tell the amount of chaos this would cause within the household, especially if this boy is troubled. He's gonna be having a lot of scary fucking dreams and it's gonna be real. So when he dreams about butterflies, the house is filled with butterflies. When he dreams about people killing him, there are people trying to kill him. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really well made. Is definitely more of the like supernatural horror rather than the thriller side, but it's definitely got that aspect of thrill to it. So yeah, that is all for my Netflix recommendations today regarding horror and thriller movies. If you guys would want another part of this, whether I do like good movies for a girls' night or TV series, I'd love for you to let me know it down in the comments down below, as well as any horror thriller movies that I didn't mention that are on Netflix that I should watch and that I would really enjoy, because I love discovering new movies that me and my mum can watch together. Yeah, if you did enjoy it, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and please do subscribe if you're new here. I would love for you to stay. We just hit 700 subscribers, which is so exciting. I literally can't believe it. If you want to see more of me, be sure to check out my socials, which are all linked in the description box down below, but my Instagram is just @LIVVGRACEE. I'll put my @ on the screen somewhere. I hope you will have a lovely week, everybody. Be kind. I love you all so much, and I'll catch you all next time for a brand new video. Bye. Mwah.
Like in this American boy. My guy's pretty like a girl. And he got 5 stories to tell. See both sides like Chanel. See on both sides like Chanel.